And while the president may have extended that deadline, a CNN poll today suggests that support for Obamacare has now hit an all-time new low. Look at these numbers tonight. 35% now say that they support the president's signature law. That's a drop of 5 points since just last month, while a whopping 62% say that they are now opposed to the law overall. Another potentially troubling sign for the president's signature achievement, as folks who used Oregon State Exchange are informed that they may have to seek coverage elsewhere. Robocalls went out on Friday to people who used the Cover Oregon Exchange. And in these robocalls, they say, look, if you haven't received a confirmation of your coverage by today, you really ought to start to look elsewhere. It's helpful, right? But as the president spends his holiday in Hawaii, he just arrived there today, some Americans are scrambling to get covered in time, and critics say that that symbolic enrollment that he did really may not be much reassurance for some of those people. Guy Benson's a Fox News contributor and senior political editor at townhall.com. Guy, good to see you.
Merry Christmas, Martha.
Merry Christmas to you. Great to have you here. So is that a consolation that the president symbolically signed up?
Not really. I mean, I guess it's good that he did it, and he is going to be paying for coverage that he doesn't need, which is sort of ironic. That's one of the criticisms of Obamacare, because he doesn't need any coverage, any sort of health care coverage now. He's got the best things you could possibly ever ask for when it comes to this sort of stuff, because he's commander-in-chief, and rightfully so. So he's trying to sort of pretend, or at least show some solidarity with those millions that you described who are trying to gain coverage and obtain coverage, and endorsing his own product as best he can. But it is sort of ironic that he did it while on vacation and his staff had to do it for him. You know, I guess they say that might draw attention to the deadline and get more people logging on, but that won't help them either if the website can't really handle this crush of last-minute applicants.
There's so much anxiety out there. You know, I mean, it's bad enough to have to worry about getting all your presents done and your last-minute shopping done and your shopping list taken care of, right? And then on top of that, you have this sort of underlying rumble of anxiety that people are concerned that what happens the first time I go to the doctor in January? Is the plan I signed up for actually going to work? And it just creates a very anxious feeling, and it's backed up clearly by these numbers.
Yeah, the polling data that we just saw, there was a sub-question in that poll that is really going to, I think, leave a mark for the White House. They asked, do you expect the Affordable Care Act to increase or decrease the cost of your coverage? 63% they said they expect their coverage costs to increase. 28% said they expected it to stay about the same. 7% in that poll said they expect the Affordable Care Act to lower their costs.
You know what that says, Guy? It says that every single promise has been broken, basically. If you liked your plan, you can't keep it. If you liked your doctor, you can't keep it. If you liked your prescription medicines, you can't keep those either. And, you know, if you thought it was going to cost less, people were told $2,500 per family less. Now, I believe the administration is still saying down the road, we think that will happen. But given the enrollment numbers, people are going to have a hard time believing that, aren't they?
Well, one of the things that Democrats keep saying, and I think this is a self-delusion, they say once the website issues are finally ironed out, and many of them have been, some of them still remain, especially on the back end, but once this technological, series of glitches has been dealt with, we'll be fine, and this will no longer be a story. But the big issues that you just raised, Martha, dropped coverage and also higher premiums, these are going to be new realities, and I think more searing and difficult realities for millions of additional Americans in 2014 as insurers and the industry gears up for 2015. And I think the whole rollout debacle has not helped either of those two trends.
And the president's got a lot to think about over the course of his vacation, and so do a lot of other Americans as they work it out. Guy, thank you. Good to see you.
Good to see you, too.